Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, and we're here to bring you guys day 5 of March Madness at midnight. I hope you guys are ready. Hope you guys got your popcorn ready, your comments, your questions, and all that good stuff loaded up here because I believe we are live. Are we live? We are live.
We are.
Okay. So, guys, make sure you send your questions in, and we're going to run through these things. Brian, how you doing over there tonight, man? You good?
I'm great.
We talked about the breaking news and stuff earlier, the extensions of 2 guys, or what is it, the signing of the tenders or something? What is it technically called?
They just did extensions on them because they never hit free agency, so they didn't have to put a tender on them. So they were just 1-year extensions.
Okay. All right. So
and then they declined the option year for Martin
Zaucha. Yeah. Yep. So the linebacker and special teamer is no more.
Right.
All right. So
it's nice because it's like we're not in frozen mode anymore. Like there was some movement, so we know that they are alive in Santa Clara.
Yeah. Yep. I get it, man. And the cap space is opening up, and it's really good to see. To feel like the team has a little bit more freedom, man. It really does feel better. So here we go. Let's see what we have here. Thoughts on Mac Jones? I've watched literally every throwing snap, and he is pretty pocket mobile and can run if needed to extend the play. He is Kyle's guy. All right, so it starts with a question, ends with a statement. What are your thoughts on Mac Jones?
Well, I mean, obviously, I didn't watch a lot of him, but he does have a pretty accurate arm. I don't know what he was watching with the pocket part or with the mobile part, because everything that I have seen and everything that I've read about him said that that's the area that he's lacking in.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a pocket guy only, basically.
I think he's just boring. I know that sounds bad, right? But
right. Well, he's not a slinger. I mean,
right. He doesn't have the big arm. He's not going to be the most athletic. He's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo slightly upgraded. I heard the comparison to Kirk Cousins, and I can't unthink that anymore. And it's boring. Now, can we win with it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Could you bring him in as a backup to Jimmy? Absolutely.
Right. Like that's what Kyle looks for. So it's not a bad thing. It's just not a fun, like, remember when New England, the Patriots were winning 12, 13 games every year, and you watch a Patriots game and their offense just looked so boring because they were so meticulous and just marched down the field so regularly. It was just boring.
Right. Yeah.
They consumed the time, and that's what I feel like you will get with Mac Jones. You're going to win a lot of games too. So, yeah, he absolutely could be Kyle's guy. Let's see here. Guys, I don't get it. Why not let Trent walk, draft the offensive tackle in the first round, corners and QB on day 2, and sign someone quality? And sign some quality free agents like Carl Lawson and Jason Verrett. What are your thoughts on this, man? Good question here from Kevin.
We talked about this the other night about letting Trent walk and what are the options, and so we kind of covered this a little bit. Unfortunately, outside of Sewell and really Slater, I think after that you have a pretty significant drop off. I know Tucker, the kid out of USC. I know he's also there, but it seems like, at least from the media standpoint, there seems to be a significant drop off in talent from those 2 to the next set of tackles. So I don't know that I necessarily think that we're in a position. We might be able to get Slater, but I would prefer to trade back, and work. I'm more worried about that center position. So like, Creed or Dickinson from Alabama, or even further back, the kid out of, Josh Meyer, I think his name, out of Ohio State. So that's more my concern. But I mean, could they let him walk and do something else? Absolutely.
Yeah, there are definitely some options, man. And there's the kid from Virginia Tech that I really like. There's some options for the team to get in the first or second round for a good tackle. And the team is opening up so much cap space that now it seems very likely that Trent's going to come back.
Sure.
And I also think that the team was aware of this carryover and all that just because it wasn't announced yet. And so as the fans are all in this panic and where, you got to cut Jimmy, you got to do this, you got to do that, the team is like, yeah, shut up, we got this. So,
right. Which is what I mean, I didn't know that I had like 6 million on the books. I didn't realize so I don't know where the other 5, I still haven't been able to figure out where the other 5 came from, who didn't meet their incentives or whatever. I did read an article that someone was saying it had to do with Sherman, but Sherman's roster bonuses made up maybe 700,000 of that. And I already had that counted. So I'm still not sure where the other stuff came from, but they were incentives that weren't earned. We did
incentives. Yeah.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. By the way, the tackle I was talking about, Christian Dorsal.
Dorsal, yep.
Dorsal. That's the guy. I couldn't remember his name for the life of me.
He seems to be falling a little bit right now in the draft.
That's better for us. I'll take him in day 2. Jamie says, any news on Ford? I haven't heard anything. Have you?
No.
All right. Here's another fun question. I like this one from Holly. What's your favorite chicken wing flavor?
I don't eat chicken wings. I hate dealing with the bones, man. I'll eat chicken tenders all day long, but I hate dealing with the bones. That's like crab. It's too much work for what you get out of it. Nope. Lobster? Yeah. Crab? No. Unless they're king crab out here on the West Coast, we got king crab. There's meat in that shit.
If
you're eating blue crab, no, I'm not down with the blue crab.
But you don't eat wings, huh?
No.
Brian, I am judging you. I'm telling you.
And it was funny because I had like this when I was in the military, when I was in the Navy, I had this Navajo. He was 6'5", just huge dude. And he would literally take a wing and stick it in his mouth and go and pull it out, and it was just the bone. I was like, how the hell? How do you do that?
And he does it with the drumstick, and he does it with the flat.
I don't like the cartilage and all the other stuff that you know. So chicken wings aren't my thing.
It changes with me from time to time because I'll get a favorite flavor and I'll eat it, and then I don't want it for another month, 2 months, 3 months. Right now, I am big on like this spicy honey. It's like a little bit of sweet, but it's got some spice to it. Anything like a honey spice or spicy honey has been my thing as of late. So
yeah, I like a barbecue honey on my I'll eat boneless wings, which I know aren't really wings, but I like that flavor if that's what they're going for. That's the flavor, but I don't like eating food that's just too much work. It's not worth it.
I understand, man. I understand. Here we go. Daniel says, thoughts if Trent comes back and QB is gone by 12, what should they do?
If Trent, so they don't need a left tackle and we have a quarterback already on the books.
No, he's saying that all the quarterbacks they want in the first round are gone.
Right. So we've got Jimmy.
No, that's not what he's asking.
And so there's no quarterbacks to draft, and we don't need a left tackle because Trent comes back. Then I'm thinking they're going to trade back for one of the defensive ends or one of the corners, depending on who's off the board. Because if, like what we talked about yesterday, if there's quarterbacks are off the board early, you're going to push those other blue chip players back to take those spots. So
yeah, I think they look at edge again, or if we trade back, a surprise pick could be a wide receiver. So
I can't see them taking a wide receiver in the first, though.
Well, if the guys that they want are all gone by 12, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, they did that last year. I think that we have other, like with the defensive end, I don't see the defensive end in this draft being deep. Mm-hmm. There's, as far as high quality talent, there's plenty of defensive ends out there, but I think there's probably
that's why you make that move at 12 if it's not there. I'm saying
that's why I'm saying I think you trade back maybe to 19, 17, somewhere in there, and then you pick up, whomever it may be, whether it's Payne or Aziz or whomever, or Rousseau, but he'll probably be gone by then.
We will see, man. Callie says, since we freed up some extra money, could Juice get re-signed soon?
I wouldn't say soon, but I think he could be re-signed, although I think you're going to have more competition now than what we had initially thought we would after Sherman retired from KC. So once he's, that's another spot that he could end up if his wife agrees to it.
I just don't think Juice is coming back. He absolutely might, but the answer to your question is yes, we can now. Now we can go out and work on an extension now that the money is freed up. Okay, so yeah, we could absolutely do that. Here we go. Who do you want with our first pick?
I think Mac Jones is the most important.
Well, I stopped reading the rest of it because it wasn't the question. That's why I left
for me, regardless of whether or not Trent comes back, I like Slater in the first. But if we have an opportunity to move back a few spots and get like a JC Horn, or if Surtain falls back, then I would be okay with that too if we picked up an additional second rounder. So either way for me, that's kind of where I'm at.
I don't have a definitive answer, so I won't waste time on that one. It's not that the question was a bad question. I don't have a definitive answer. Like if we're staying pat at 12, who's your fantasy guy? I don't have an answer.
I don't have anybody I'm in love with in the draft.
Right. Maybe Justin Fields right now would maybe be my answer, but I don't know. Fellas, do you guys see DJ Jones coming back, or has Givens shown enough to let him go? It's a good question.
Earlier in the season, earlier in the offseason, I had said that from my perception, that I think that that's the direction they go, is that Givens would take over that spot. You guys did not necessarily agree with me in full on that one. So, but
no, I think DJ Jones is better than people give him credit for in both aspects of the game.
I'm not saying that he's not good. I'm just saying I think that Givens has the talent to take over that spot.
Yeah,
if they're trying to like say, depending on what Jones wants to come back, if he wants $4 million a year, then no, bye.
No, he's worth $4 a year, especially if you're doing bonuses and shit. He can average $4 a year. That's not a lot for a defensive tackle at his position.
But I don't want to pay him $4 million a year if I can pay Givens less than $1 million.
I mean, they also value depth on this line. Also, we have to remember they value a lot of depth. And with Jones is a really good pass rusher as well as run stopper. I think that he brings a solid blend. He's just got to stay healthy. So we'll see what happens. I like both of those guys, though. By the way, here's a good question here: are we sleeping on Eric Armstead? Wouldn't be surprised if he has a good season. What do you think?
Well, I think that they saw something in Eric in order to bring him back, and unfortunately, last year the defensive line did not stay healthy as a whole. So I wouldn't say we're sleeping on him. It's just that he didn't have the true opportunity to work with those number ones that we have in there. I think that will make it better this upcoming season, if that makes sense.
No, I get you. I do think that people do sleep on Eric Armstead. I think because Eric Armstead is asked to do so many different things that people think that he just sucks because he doesn't do anything consistently. But I can't do anything consistently if I'm not doing one thing consistently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't grade my burgers if I only make burgers 3 times a day because I'm being asked to make eggs and hot dogs and
chicken wings.
Yeah, chicken wings, right? You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think it's fair to try to grade him, and I think people don't see what he's asked to do. So yes, right. A good question here. Let's see. Here's the next question: why not let Jimmy go? Resign free agents, sign Alex Smith, get rid of turnover problem, and draft a quarterback. What are your thoughts on this from Kurt?
Well, it depends on all the other moves we do. In order to draft a quarterback, I honestly think you have to trade up, and that's going to cost capital, which means that's pieces that you can't also draft to fill out the roster. I don't have any problems with letting Jimmy go. I don't think Alex Smith is the fit, though. He doesn't, as we were talking about yesterday or the day before with Nick, he seems to be upset with the organization as a whole. That's how Nick interpreted it, right? And so I don't know that he would be a candidate to come back. But if they could find another free agent, sure, if he's going to be better, as long as it's an upgrade, like an honest upgrade, not a lateral. Or if it is lateral, it's somebody that is significantly cheaper.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're going to let Jimmy go with this newfound money. If they did and they drafted or they picked up a free agent quarterback, I think that person has to be equivalent to him. Mm-hmm. And then they will draft a quarterback. So we'll see what happens. Right. I'm not opposed to any of that stuff. We just have to see how it plays out. All right, this might be the last one here. Thoughts on center Nick Martin? He's from the Houston Texans, just signed a deal, and they released him.
Yeah. If the Texans released him, I don't know that we want him, but and I don't know if there's any connections with any of our coaching staff with him in his previous stops, or if any, whatever. But so I can't speak to that.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not sure, man. I think that's gonna do it, man. It was been a good show. Center Nick Martin. I wouldn't be mad if they brought him in to see what he's got left in the tank. He just signed a 3-year deal in 2019 for pretty good money too. So we'll see.